Hey everybody, it's Jen from Jen Geigley Knits, and I wanted to make a quick video today that won't be too long because I'm actually heading out to Nashville this evening, like today, flying out. But I wanted to make a quick video because I haven't made a video since my Rhinebeck recap, and I've been meaning to share a bunch of stuff that's going on because it's kind of a busy time of year, which is fun. And it's definitely knitting season now. We in Iowa just had our big first snowfall a couple days ago, and it's been cold and it's been sticking around. So it definitely feels like sweater weather, knitting weather. It's time to make all the sweaters, and I have so many whips right now. And then I just got more yarn accidentally to cast on some other things. Like, it's out of control, but I think you can probably relate. I'm actually wearing my favorite new t-shirt that I got while I was at Rhinebeck. It was like one of those weird purchases, like I don't need another t-shirt, but when you feel some of these t-shirts, this one happens to be so soft and nice, and I just couldn't leave without it. It was actually at Samuel's, the candy shop in Rhinebeck, that is the Paul Rudd candy shop, and they had these shirts in there, and they had Rhinebeck ones, which I thought were so cute, and then they had gray ones that said Upstate, I think they said, and they were both really cool, and I just had to get this. I'm glad I did. I did not make this cardigan. I'm sorry. I don't make all my cardigans, but this one's just a cozy throw-on Madewell cardigan. Anyway, so yeah, I am actually headed out to Nashville tonight. I am so excited about this. I've been excited for a long time. I think tickets went on sale last summer, like in July or something. But I get to go to MDK Modern Daily Knitting Headquarters to see my all-time favorites, Arne and Carlos. And I'll be going to a 3-day workshop with them, which I am so excited, you guys. When I sit and knit at night, I watch YouTube podcasts. Maybe you do too. I watch my favorite YouTubers, and one of my very favorites is Arne and Carlos, and maybe you watch them as well. They had a really regular series during the pandemic, like lockdown, the worst of the darkest of days, that really got me through that time. And they have like a beautiful holiday countdown every December, and then just tons of useful videos from years of doing this, tips and tricks, knitting things I didn't know about. They share their Norwegian recipes and their beautiful garden, and I love what they do. And they also design for Rowan, and I have done designs for Rowan as well, so we have that connection, and I love their Nordic sweaters. And actually, I'm knitting one right now from their book from last year. This is one of their winter collections for Rowan from last year that has some beautiful, like these Nordic gorgeous colorwork sweaters that I love. And I am making one, if there's a bigger picture, called Bror, B-R-O-R. Hold on while I find it. Oh, there's another beautiful scarf. And a beautiful, maybe that's the same one, a wrap. And then mine, oh gosh, they're all so good. Hold on. Is this one that I just adore. Black and white and red, and then the cuffs have blue and yellow also. And this is in their Norwegian wool yarn, which is really nice to work with. So I'm working on this right now. And in my mind, I was going to finish it by this weekend, which did not happen. It's a lot slower going than I realized. I'm like, oh, I can whip that up. No, it takes a while. So there's my back of the cardigan. It looks so cool though. It's so worth it. I am loving this so much. So I have to make 2 fronts, the red edging, and then the sleeves, of course. I don't care. It's worth, I don't know. My ambitions are always a little bit lofty, but this is so cool, and I can't wait to keep going. Every row is a treat. It's so worth it. I don't care. It's gonna be so cool in the end. It'll be like a holiday type sweater. Obviously it's seamed and knitted in pieces. I don't mind. The original, don't get mad, Arne and Carlos, don't look at the back. It's supposed to be intarsia. I tried, and I can do intarsia. It's not like I can't do it, but the amount of bobbins I had hanging out was driving me crazy. And maybe there's a better way. There's probably a better way that I wasn't doing it correctly. But the black, white, black, white, black, white across, there's so many little small sections of it that I was just kind of going nuts. So I did it stranded. I don't care, I love it. It's gonna be cozy with the double layer of yarn in there. It's not super neat on the other side, but it works, it's fine. And when I block this, it's gonna look like so nice and smooth because it's really so pretty. So I'm so excited to keep working on this, and I'm gonna take it with me this weekend to show them that like I'm trying. But I love it. I love, look at that. I love it. I love their designs so much. So exciting. So that's from the Rowan Selects book, Nordic Wool. And then they have a new one this year also, which is so good. I think they had 2 last year of these little booklets, if I remember correctly, but this is the one I'm working on. And then I want to make something from the new one as well. And I'm just excited to see them and excited to take their workshops. And excited to just see everybody this weekend. I love my modern daily knitting family as well. Anne and Kay are just the very best, and all their events are so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend to get away, knit a little bit in Nashville, and see Arne and Carlos. And I need to pack. I'm mostly packed, but I fly out at 6 tonight, so hopefully I can get this uploaded, pack, pick up my kids from school, get to the airport. Got it, right? Also, okay, so here's my whips in progress. I have so much going on right now that I cannot finish a thing. I'm also designing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. You probably don't ever see that or think about, like, but I'm doing stuff for next spring for a couple companies. There's a whole big project in the works for like next year, some other things, and then my personal knitting, and then a local project I'm working on with a local shop owner that's really exciting. And then I also just announced a Knitalong, if you follow me on Instagram. Like I have time, you know, whatever. It's called the Simple Sweater Knitalong, and I use Rowan Big Wool, my favorite. I think I'm going to knit mine in Citron this time. I have one in like the tan off-white color already done. That's in all the pictures. And it's a simple sweater. So this is the perfect sweater if you've never knitted a sweater before. I wrote a very simple, basic, top-down, seamless raglan sweater pattern that would be great for your very first sweater. The great thing about it is in this gauge, this bigger wool, which knits up really quickly, and you can see your mistakes quickly. And if you have to rip back, if you made a mistake, you can go back and quickly fix it. It is the best, in my opinion, way to start knitting sweaters. It's a classic construction. There's no seaming. It is quick. You could have it done by the holidays. And even if you're an experienced knitter, it's a great sweater to add to your wardrobe just because it fits like a favorite sweatshirt. It's roomy, it's cozy, and it's classic. It's just basic, plain, perfect. If you want to add stripes, go for it. If you want to use a different yarn, go for it. Just make sure it's the same gauge. It's really important. A lot of people message me saying, can I use worsted? No. Can I use a little bit thinner, chunky? No. Just get the gauge, get this right, and it's gonna fit perfectly, and you're gonna love it. So that is going to start on November 23rd, which is next Wednesday. So you have your time to get your supplies. I have time to travel and get back home. And then we will start knitting along on Wednesday, November 23rd, right before Thanksgiving, I know, but if you have time to grab your stuff and knit along with us. This is a very low pressure knit along. I don't even have an end date, a deadline. Just knit through the holiday season, see where you get. If it's January, who cares, you know? Just knit your sweater. Let's make some sweaters. It's super fun. I'm not putting a deadline on myself either. I'll just knit along with you. And then if you want to start right now, go for it. If you want to wait, we can do it together. If you want to wait till after that date, we can start whenever you want. I have a playlist on my YouTube channel called the Simple Sweater Knit Along. Click on that playlist and the first video will get you started, and you will do your gauge swatch. It gets you from the very, very beginning with what supplies you'll need, all the way through the finishing and the seaming at the end, just a little underarm quick stitch to fix right there. Otherwise no seaming, but your blocking and all that, it will take you through the whole thing. It's wonderful, super fun. I hope you will join us. The pattern on Ravelry is called Super Sweater Knit Along. I'll link it below. And then the playlist goes along with it. So there's a video for every single step of the sweater. You will not be doing this alone. If this is your first sweater, I'll be with you the entire way, every step of the way, to explain what the pattern means as you go. And it's so much fun. So I hope you will knit with us. It's really fun. Simple Sweater Knit Along. Okay. I'm probably doing mine in this color. Also, the sweater that I found that I did not know I did not finish. This is my Francis pullover in Rowan felted tweed. Such a great yarn for color work, such a great yarn for a sweater. All I have left is a little bit of the body and some sleeves. So maybe I'll take this on the plane too and do some knitting, but actually I should just work on my Arne and Carlos. This is my problem. You guys, this is only some of my whips. I have so many going, you have no clue. But this is from last year, and it's kind of sad that I have not just like quickly busted out the rest of the body and the sleeves. It will not take long at all, I know. This yarn knits up fast, and it's just speeding around single color now, so I just have to finish. I have all my gray ready to go. We'll get there, but I love this, and I would like to wear this during the holidays too. This is such a comfy, easy fit. This is Francis from my Modern Women Knits book with Quail Studio and Rowan. It's still available online, and I think it might be on Ravelry, but I'm not totally sure. But the original was knit, all this color work was just in yellow with the navy gray main color. So it was a 2-color sweater, and I decided to do a multicolor version, which was so much fun. I would love it if anybody else would love to try a multicolored version. A couple of my friends have, and it's turned out so fun. But yeah, this was originally just a 2-color, every other section was yellow, gray. So it looked way different. So this is really fun. I just really want to finish this. I'll get to it. I'm also working on the Morchella cardigan that I started a while ago, in Modern Daily Knitting Atlas in the color pear. I know all my stuff is yellow lately, it just is. I really want to make a yellow cardigan. This yarn is perfect for it because it's so soft and cozy. I'm going to put my stitches back on that I just lost when I picked it up. It's a beautiful cartridge rib, and this is the body. This is the interesting thing is the bottom of this cardigan is bottom up. The bottom of this cardigan does not have the typical smaller rib section at the bottom, which I'm not sure if I'm gonna like or not, but I really like. In the picture, it's really, really cute, and it's just like a straight body without the rib at the bottom. And then the sleeves do have the rib at the bottom. It's really interesting. So if I don't like it, I could totally pick up stitches at the bottom and knit with a smaller needle a little rib section if I feel like it, but we'll see. I wanna see what this looks like. It's a different style than I've made before, and I like that. It's kind of oversized, which I love. So this is really fun. This yarn, you guys, is amazing. Atlas by MDK. It is so nice and light and so soft, and this color is amazing. They have such a good color palette, so check it out if you haven't. It's one of my new faves. Okay, so this is another whip. Then I sometimes off and on design things for Purl Soho, one of my favorite companies to knit for and to knit with. And so we just had this idea for maybe a design. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I'm not sure. It's still in the works, but they sent me this yarn that I cannot get over. It is so cool and beautiful. One of their newer yarns is called Lovebird, you guys. So it's kind of a chunky weight, and it's like spun with all these different colors. And this is just the pinky ones. There's a bunch of pinky purpley ones that are so fun. It's Monostil Uruguay Lovebird Superwash Merino Wool. But oh my gosh, the colors just in this are so much fun. This one too. And there's so many different ones. There's purples, there's blues, there's more naturals. Oh my gosh, it's just nuts. And it's so squishy and soft. It is glorious. This is called Lovebird. But then we decided we're gonna mix it all up. So the other textury one that they have now is called Fiddlehead, which you might have seen. They have a really cute cowl right now with Fiddlehead, but we thought, what if we mix the Lovebird and some Fiddlehead and my very favorite Gentle Giant. Look at this, you guys. So I have an idea where I'm gonna mix all of these together. Can you just imagine all the textures and weights mixed up into one glorious thing? I am so excited. I just got this in the mail today to play with all of this. I already love Gentle Giant and have made a lot of things with this. I made our Christmas stockings, our family stockings out of Gentle Giant, a bunch of really wild colors. Really, really fun. And then I cannot wait to play with these gorgeous yarns and the texture. I just cannot get over it. This is extremely soft, like a cloud. It's so nice and nubby. It's so cool. And then this, I just cannot get over. This is like candy. Seriously, I don't remember what the color is called. It might be called candy. It's so pretty. Does it say? I'm not seeing it, but I'm not probably looking at the right part. Candy Shop. Ha! It is. Definitely. It is so cool, you guys. Okay, I just can't get over it. And even like, hello. Yep. Anything's possible. And then they always sent a cute little card with their stuff. It's just fun to play and like have the freedom to just go for it and design something out of something so cool. It's just really exciting. Okay, what else? I had one more thing to talk about and I just forgot, so let me think. I have to go get something from the basement and I'll be right back. The basement is my yarn hoard stash. It's bad. But I'll be right back with one thing that I remembered just now. Okay, I grabbed my stuff from downstairs. There is a sweater that I keep seeing on Instagram that keeps popping up that must be like the hot new sweater. And I was obsessed as soon as I saw it, and I was talking to my friends about it and they're all obsessed too. So I grabbed yarn really quick for it because when I get inspired like that, I just want to make it. Even though I have a lot of other whips happening, I can't help it. So it's called the Drawing Sweater by Tomomi Yoshimoto. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. The drawing sweater, I don't have like a picture, it's like flowers across the yoke, and I think they're in cream, and the rest of the sweater is like in navy in the main sample. And it's just so cool. It's like this little floral top, and then I think the neckband is also cream in the sample, and then it's just simple and cool and modern and just a little bit of flowers. It's rad. So I can't stop thinking about it. I was looking at different yarns and someone had made a sample in Brooklyn Tweed Loft. So I decided for a million years, and I've knitted with Brooklyn Tweed a little bit, but mostly just hats or accessories. And I've always wanted to make a sweater, and someone made it in Loft. And so I'm going to use Sap, which is the green. Sorry, that tail's gonna bug me. Sap as the flower color at the top, and then Sweatshirt as the body and sleeves. I think this is the perfect gray in the whole wide world. It is my favorite. And then the Sap color, I've always wanted, I don't know why I've never bought it. I love this green So that's gonna be my drawing sweater, hopefully, probably. I'm obsessed, so I have to do it. And then I was gonna tell you about a quick little visit I made last Saturday to one of the local newish yarn shops in central Iowa that I had not visited before and should have. It is called Esther and Company, and it's in Newton, Iowa, which is just outside of Des Moines, like not even an hour. And it is so much fun. I made a video to add on to this in a minute that kind of gives you a tour because it's unlike any yarn shop I've ever seen. It is so much more than a yarn shop, but it also has so much yarn and a lot of unique yarns that I had not seen elsewhere. A lot from actual sheep farms and like a lot of natural wool and alpacas and all kinds of things. A lot of sock yarns, all the accessories, all the needles, all the coconut stuff, everything. But they also had honey and jams and spreads and tea and coffee. And then they have a whole bakery section that had fresh pies, baked goods from local people. They had handmade soaps from local people. It is a community like collection of everything good. And it was just so much fun to visit this store. So Newton has very cute Main Street areas. There's like more than one Main Street. And there was like a beautiful quilting shop and it's all so cute. And especially during the holidays and kind of in the snowy weather, it was so fun to visit. And then you step into this shop and it's like beautiful home goods in the beginning with beautiful paper stars in the window, you know, of course. And then you step in a little further and there's the bakery. And I'm just like, what is this? This is amazing. Like I want to have a snack and teach a yarn class because I did a knitting workshop as well. That's why I went. I'll get there in a minute. And then there's yarn, all the way back. And then there's another room where I taught this workshop. So it's just this beautiful long store of like sections of like, you're gonna want everything. So I came home with yarn and a pie and I taught a Gaptastic Cowl Workshop there. And if you don't know, the Gaptastic Cowl was my first kind of successful pattern that kind of ran away that I didn't even know it was as popular as it became. And that came out over 10 years ago. I think it was 2010. And we just hit a milestone, the cowl. I think it hit 20,000 projects on Ravelry recently, which is like, how? It's amazing. So we had, I guess Esther and Company had some beginner knitters that wanted to start knitting. And I didn't even realize like, oh gosh, I should maybe think about this. Because usually when I teach beginner classes, I just teach like one day of just the knit stitch, one day of the purl stitch. You know, we cast on and bind off in those 2 sessions. That's usually how I teach my beginners. But for this, we just dove in and taught the Gaptastic Cowl. And in 3 hours, everybody was knitting and purling on that cowl, and it was really, really fun. So I'm just gonna add in a little video now of that. Also, Esther and Company, I forgot, the owner, Regina, has her own sheep and farm outside of Newton. Like, of course, this is why it's so cool. It's like, this shop has everything and it's local and it's so cool. So I picked up a couple skeins of her Cormo alpaca in this charcoal, which was really fun to get some of her yarn. And I love a good neutral and it's so nice and soft. So it was fun to get some of her stuff while I was there. And a pie that I ate. It was a triple berry individual sized pie. So anyway, enjoy my little tour of that next. that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit before I head to Nashville. I will probably be taking pictures and a little bit of video during this weekend at MDK Headquarters and with Arne and Carlos, so maybe I'll be sharing that next week when I get back. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you like and subscribe. I am starting to build a little bit of a channel here, and I really want to keep going. I have to think of a name for this. I think the only name I can think of is Knit With Me. Does that sound fine? If you have suggestions, put them below. And I will see you next time.